Hey friends, welcome back. This is Ann, author of hiddenfarmlife.com. It's the end of the day, and the last thing that I need to do is mix up my sourdough sandwich bread. I'm trying to bulk bake so that I can put some in the freezer, and I realized I went for my home blend flour and I realized I needed to make some. So I just finished making fresh flour and now I'm going to pull the dough together. So let's get this started. You want to make sure that your starter is nice and bubbly. I fed mine earlier in the day and you can see it's nice and all these small bubbles. It's grown, it's doubled in size, and it's nice and it almost looks aerated. This is what I'm going to use. So I wanted to show you, in my mixing bowl I have water, honey, softened butter, and I'm going to add salt and a cup of that fresh sourdough starter. So in the bowl I have already placed all of my ingredients and 5 cups of the fresh flour. I'm not exactly sure how much I'll need. I usually use between 6, 7, 8 cups, so we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and start my mixer. I'm gonna do this low and slow, and I have a dough hook on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up until it's all combined. Now that all of the ingredients have been combined, and this is nowhere near ready to go, it's just shaggy and it's sticky, I'm gonna let the the mixer process this until it's nice and smooth and it passes the window pane test on a medium to low, and that'll probably take about 10 minutes, so we'll see. Okay, it's getting smoother and we're getting there, but if you can see, it's still kind of raggy and it's not quite passing the window pane test yet, and it's pretty sticky. So that gluten still needs to develop. So I'm gonna run it for a few more minutes and see where we are next. Okay, we are almost there. I'm gonna show you, if you can see, it's still breaking a little bit. So what I'm going to do is put this out on the counter, and I am going to do this by hand for a little bit until it feels the way I would like it to feel. Let's see if you can't see that. So I'm just going to work this a little bit more and get that gluten developed in there. And I guess I should tell you, I used 100% whole wheat. This is hard white wheat that I buy in bulk, and I grind it myself, and I've usually had pretty good luck in baking with fresh flour versus, and I'm not saying that store flour isn't good, but fresh flour seems to be really the key for me. And of course, you know, the humidity has a part in how your dough turns out. So I'm just gonna knead this for a little bit and then I will check back in with you. Okay, I got my hands into my dough, and it's a nice, smooth and soft. I am going to put this, I've prepared my big mixing bowl. I've buttered this, and I am just going to place my dough in this buttered mixing bowl, and I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap. I don't want it to form like a hard skin on top, and then I'll put another piece over top, and then I'm going to sit this on the counter to do a long ferment overnight. So probably, let's see, what time is it? It's 9:10, so I'm probably gonna let this ferment for at least 12 hours, possibly longer. It should double by morning, so I am going to put this over by the window, and it's fairly warm tonight, and I'm going to say goodnight to it, and I will see you guys in the morning. It is very much the next day. In fact, what time is it? Let me check my phone. It is almost 10 o'clock, so a very long ferment on this dough. So let's get a closer look and see what we're gonna do next. So I'm going to uncover the dough, and as you can see, compared to last night, this is nice and risen. So I'm just going to, and remember we buttered our bowl. I'm going to turn this out onto my clean surface, and I'm going to, oh man, that's gorgeous. I'm going to take my bench scraper and I'm going to divide the dough into roughly 2 equal parts. Try to anyway. And then I have 2 prepared baking pans. I can link those down below, and I've buttered them generously. You can use spray or, you know, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to move these around a little bit, and I'm kind of going to roll these up and then flatten them out and then tuck in the end and then elongate it, and then that's going to go in my pan. And then I'm just going to move it around a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Just going to mush it out a little bit, roll it up, stretching it a little bit, and then tucking in those ends, elongating it a little bit, and then putting it in my bread pan. Now, I'm going to sit these on my stove. I don't want them to overproof. Now they need to rise again. So that could take, you know, depending on the temperature of wherever you have them, like your kitchen, or I've been putting them outside in the sun, and yesterday they overproofed. So, I mean, the bread tastes great, but the presentation, you know, is lacking. So I'm gonna start out proofing these on the stove, just on top of the stove, no heat, and see how well they do, and I'll check back in a couple of hours. It's a couple of hours later, and let's see what we have under this towel. Oh look, they have risen very nicely, and they'll continue to rise once we put them in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead, and I have preheated my oven to 350, and I'm going to go ahead and bake these. Estimates are rough because everybody's oven is differently. I'm right now going to say 35-ish minutes, and you like the bread to sound hollow when you tap on it. I have to rotate mine because mine tend to get brown first in the back of the oven than in the front, so I rotate halfway through. So I normally set a timer for about 15 minutes, bake them, take them out, rotate them, and bake for another 15 plus minutes, whatever I feel like they need to be evenly golden. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get them in the oven and then let you see what they look like when they come out. So here they are. The loaves are out of the oven. Listen if you can. You hear that? It's a nice solid sound. These are heavy loaves. Remember how much flour we used, so you don't need like a big hunk and chunk of bread unless you want to. So these are done. I'm just going to let them cool completely, and then I am going to add them to my freezer stash that I'm building for this winter. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you find this helpful and useful. This is just what I'm doing to kind of build up a little stash, like I said, in the freezer. I'm baking, this is sourdough. I'm also baking regular bread. I think I may have a video for that. If I do, I will link it above. If not, let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a regular sandwich bread recipe, not sourdough. If you're local and you would like some sourdough starter, hit me up because it's easy to do. You just need a cup to start and you're on your way. So until next time, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.